Hi, good morning, Flosstube. This is Tina Frazier coming to you from Columbus, Ohio. Today is Saturday, September 29th at approximately 10:25 a.m. I'm still kind of waking up. I took Rosie for a walk about half hour, 45 minutes ago, and I've been watching a little bit of Flosstube trying to catch up. And I figured I would come to you this morning with a video just to show you some of the new stuff I've got, and also to show you some progress on my 100 Days of Heaven and Earth Designs Challenge piece, Hunter's Moon by Allison Spokes. Today is day 90, you guys. I've made it to day 90, and I did a whopping like 520 some stitches last night, so that's pretty cool. And I'm almost ready for a page finish, so having a page finish on day 90 is pretty spectacular. I'm going to move my table here so you can see. Here's my stitching right here. This is my piece I'm working on. I have it right next to me, and I have a little table here that has all my has my notes and has my stuff, the stuff that I'm going to show you this morning. It's just kind of a quick video. I might do a little bit of a stitch with me on day 90 of Heaven and Earth Designs Challenge, but I need to move this over here. I'm actually gonna kind of slide you this way. Sorry about the lighting in here. I do have the overhead room lights off. I just didn't think about turning them on. And my drink of the day, I have it here. It is some of the Starbucks Via Instant Latte mix. This is the pumpkin spice latte. We can get it at the grocery store here in Columbus. I tried some of this about a month ago, and when we first saw it in the store a couple weeks ago, and I bought a box of it because it was on sale for like $2 off. But I bought a box of it and decided I'd try it, and if I didn't like it, I could take it to work. And I actually quite like it. I don't like everything pumpkin spice, but I do like this. I have to add just a little more sugar because it's not quite the sweetness that I expect. But this is pumpkin spice latte. This is the Starbucks Via Instant coffee packet that you can get. I hope everybody's enjoying pumpkin spice season. I've indulged in a few pumpkin spice things, not a lot. Like pumpkin spice wafer cookies, and I've had a couple of pumpkin spice donuts and stuff like that. I like pumpkin spice, but I'm not like totally fanatical of it. I did buy pumpkin spice shredded wheat. I have yet to try it though. But I do have pumpkin spice shredded wheat. The Belvita breakfast bars. I actually really do like the pumpkin spice ones. I started eating them last year when they came out, and I have about 5 or 6 boxes on hand. You can hear Nico. Nico is our cat that's been in isolation because of her digestive issues. I let her out of the room this morning, and she's been kind of being social and being a little noisy, and so you'll probably periodically hear her meow throughout the video. And I'm not going to edit that out because, well, some people like that. So without further ado, I will actually get into my video this morning. I have some notes that I've been taking just so I don't forget. So one of the things I wanted to do on my videos is a quick Q&A session, question and answer. I've been kind of wanting to do this for a while because I think it would be kind of fun. I looked back through several of my videos, and I didn't really see any questions that anybody had asked me that I could answer on the video for you. So that being said, I would like to start a Q&A session on my videos for you. So if you have any questions that you want to ask me, either about my stitching, about something I've talked about on the video, if you need clarification on anything, if you want to know where to buy something, if you have just questions about me, questions about my animals, questions about things I'm doing, just ask them in the comments below, and I will do my best on my next videos to get these out to you. I had also been kind of toying around with the idea of doing a video blog, like a vlog essentially, where I record little bits and pieces kind of every day and put them together at the end of the week. Stitcherista does that, and I'm not real sure that I really want to tackle that, just because with my work schedule sometimes I'm not even ready to stitch until 10 or 11 o'clock at night, and I think I'd rather just sit down and stitch as opposed to, like, you know, making sure I do a video every day. And I know my videos have been kind of randomly spaced out. You know, I think I've been doing them about every 2 or 3 weeks at this point. I'm going to try and get back into doing them at least once a week. I think it would be kind of fun. I don't know if it's going to be where I sit and stitch with you once a week, or do a little bit of stitching and a little bit of talking about stuff. It's also been a while since I've been to my local needle workshop for a Wednesday stitch night, so hopefully I'll be able to get back into that. But I do want to talk to you a little bit about some life stuff. So a lot of you know that you know, my in-laws passed away earlier this year, and we're in the process of dealing with their estate. Things are going pretty good that way, but now we're starting to realize that we may actually be able to sell their house prior to Christmas, which means that, you know, we'll have to find some other place to have the family Christmas, which wouldn't be a bad thing, but yeah, it's going to be kind of an interesting holiday. So I'm trying to kind of put that off in the back of my mind, and not really think about, you know, the reason why we can't have a normal Christmas this year. Just because it is kind of sad, you know, it's the first Christmas without both of them. And the whole family is just going to have to come together and figure out another plan B for Christmas. So we have that coming up. The other thing is, a lot of you know that I've been dealing with a not so ideal work situation for the last several months. Our department was downsized from about 20 people down to 7 at the, you know, in the middle of May, and the rest of us that are still there doing some work have been a little unsure of you know, kind of what our future holds. And our supervisor indicated to us about a week and a half ago that her last day with us will be October 15th. And then our team lead type person left the company the end of September. No, middle September. September 15th was her last day. So for a little bit, we've been kind of in limbo about who our manager is going to be, what's going to happen with us. So this past week, our higher up manager actually sat down and got on a phone call with us and basically told us that they are merging our team of 7 or 6 to a team of 3 who also do a little bit of what we do, but in the front end part of disputes. They do the furnishing part, we do the disputes, like the back end part. So they're going to merge our team together, and then there's going to be, you know, there's going to be some changes coming, so we just don't know what the changes are going to be yet, but you know, over the next couple of weeks we're going to be transitioning over to the new manager, who doesn't really know our part of the function. So it's going to be kind of a learning curve for all the rest of us. So we have some changes coming. Good or bad is yet to be seen, but you know, it's going to be some changes we're going to have to work through. So I suppose that's good. At least I have a little bit more direction. We have some direction at work. Anyway, So that being said, I will actually go ahead and get into new stash since it's about 10 minutes in already. I was browsing eBay and I kind of made a I can't think of the term when you make an like a just a on a whim purchase. We'll just call it the on the whim purchase. I like Elma Lynn designs. She is an older designer, where she's been around the cross stitch industry for quite a while. And I found this Santa pattern book that I hadn't seen before of hers, and it's called the Santa Monthly. And this was really cute. So there's 12 Santas. There's 12 Santas in this book, and each one is split up for each month. The one that really caught my eye, though, if you look, is this Santa, the Halloween Santa in the middle with the pumpkin. That Santa, I don't know if you're going to be able to see that. That Santa really reminds me of Gandalf from Lord of the Rings. But there was just a couple other Santas in here that were really cute. And I wouldn't have normally picked it, but I thought just the fact that it has, the little banners underneath it that say like faith, hope, Halloween, that kind of thing, I would just go ahead and get it because I've been into collecting like months of the year and seasons of the year patterns. So here's some of the patterns in bigger detail. Well, so you have like the Easter Santa. He's dressed up as an Easter bunny. Faith. I believe he's fishing with the little boy. Thankful. Santa carrying a turkey. Santa on a rocking horse. That one's a little weird. You have the 4th of July Santa. Santa watering a Christmas tree. You have, of course, the Halloween Santa. And just some of the other Santas. Santa playing with a little rowboat in a pond. That's really cute. So yeah, so I thought this was really cute. The other thing that was really interesting to me is the little banners at the bottom. They have the little banners at the bottom charted separately down here. So you can mix and match your little banner saying at the bottom of your Santa. You can mix and match it. So it's really kind of cool, So like here's the pattern. This here would be like the pattern for like rocking horse, but it doesn't have the banner at the bottom. So you could pretty much mix and match any of them. One of the ones I'm probably going to stitch is the Halloween one. I thought that was really cute. And, I don't know if I'll stitch any of the other ones, but I just thought it was really cute. The Easter one's kind of cute. But, yeah. So we have the Santa Monthly. The next one on my list, the Stony Creek Horrific Halloween Pattern of the Month series. You guys know I've been collecting that. September is out. September, Spiderwebs and Batwings. One more is due to come out October 1st, so it comes out on Monday. And then this whole series will be complete. This is what the whole thing looks like on as a bell pull. The last one to come out is this Moon and Stars one here. It comes out October 1st. You can get it on the Stony Creek website. The actual monthly pattern is free, but you'll have to pay like $3.50 shipping. So you can actually get all of these. You'll just have to pay $3.95 per pattern plus shipping to get the rest of the patterns that are already out. I think September is still free until Monday, or late Sunday night. So I have this in September, waiting for one more. I don't have fabric for this yet, and I don't know when I'm going to start it, but this is on my to-do list. Alright, so I've talked about that. I've talked about that. Mill Hill, a lot of you know Mill Hill. You know they do these houses every year. I have the buttons and beads. This is the autumn series. This is Wanda's Wands. This was really cute. This was really cute. Wanda's Wands. And look at this little pumpkin. Look at this little pumpkin. Isn't that cute? Oh my gosh, it's a little pumpkin button. The little pumpkin button is so cute. You can see it here. That little pumpkin button was just too adorable. So I had to get it. This is the first, one of the first Halloween houses that I have. I'd like to, now that I'm getting that, now that I have this one, I probably should look at getting the rest of the series so I can put them eventually all together on one piece again, like I would like to do for the Christmas ones. I don't have very many of the Christmas Village set either. My goal is to get, what is all 23 of them and put them on a big piece of fabric. I just think that would be amazing. Yeah, but there's 23 Christmas ones, you guys. So that's a lot of money. So, but anyway, I hope to get the Christmas one, but I also now have the Halloween, a start on the Halloween. Alright. So we have that, we have that. The next step, there's two pieces by this company. Everybody, most of you out there have probably heard of the Tiny Modernist. They have a couple of stitch-alongs out and coming out that are quite popular. The first one is the Haunted Mansion stitch-along. And I'll actually just kind of show you the first, well, let me pull out, bear with me just a minute. Let me pull out the cover sheet. So you have the Haunted Mansion by the Tiny Modernist. It's a 7-part mystery series. The Room 4 was just released. So this is what the pattern looks like. A lot of people are stitching this on Flosstube and in various groups. The room that just came out was this room right here, the library. No, Dr. Frankenstein. Over here. Sorry, I had the wrong one. Dr. Frankenstein was the room that just came out. I don't have the fabric for this yet, so I actually haven't started it. But here's the Haunted Mansion by the Tiny Modernist. Room 4 is out. Room 5. Room 4 is out. Room 5 comes out sometime in this next week, I believe. Did I write that down? Yep, Room 5 comes out October 3rd. Room 5 comes out October 3rd. And Room 6 comes out October 17th. So the full pattern will be available after October 17th. You can still get in and order these. But it's a 7-part mystery series. So I have that. The other mystery series that the Tiny Modernist just recently announced was Santa's House. This is another little house. This is called Santa's House. This was just recently advertised or recently offered up as a stitch-along, mystery stitch-along. So this, the pattern for this, the house, the outside house that you can see here, the house pattern is due out October 1st. So you can actually join the mystery stitch-along or the mystery things and get them emailed to your inbox. So the house, I'll show you this is just the introductory letter. And so here is the schedule of when everything is supposed to be out. So the house design comes out October 1st, Room 1 October 15th, Room 2 October 29th, Room 3 November 12th, Room 4 November 26th, and Room 5 December 10th. It gives you the pattern, the design size, the stitch count, the DMC floss. And there's where you can get more information on it. It's at tinymodernist.com. This is Santa's House. And then here is, this tells you the schematic for when they're going to be released. So, these are the rooms. So you have these rooms, and then you have the release dates. And these will be emailed to you. So, knowing that this was coming and that I actually signed up for the Santa's house, I was at my local needlework shop last weekend, and I picked up my fabric for it. This piece was done on, let me look it up. Let's see. It doesn't say. This cover sample is stitched over 2 on gingerbread, 28 count Lugana by Picture This Plus. My local needlework shop didn't have a piece of gingerbread from Picture This Plus, so I went ahead and did a floss toss. Speaking of vocabulary, I hope you guys know what a floss toss is. If not, I will explain actually right here. A floss toss is when you're looking for the fabric for a piece of cross stitch that you want to stitch, and you don't necessarily want to do it on the called for fabric, and you're not sure what you're not sure what color of fabric or what type of fabric would look best with the fibers that are in the pattern. You basically collect all the fibers and you just start pulling fabric, and you lay the fibers from the cross stitch piece on your fabric and see what pops and what kind of look you're going for the piece. So I did a floss toss at my local needlework shop, and I picked up this piece of fabric. I will actually take it out for you. This is 32 count Weeks Dye Works in Cappuccino. I got a fat quarter. So this is kind of a brownish, kind of warm brown, yellow brown color. So the piece, this is the piece that I got. It's kind of lengthwise, because Santa's house, if you look at the piece, Santa's house is kind of long ways as opposed to tall ways. It's long ways instead of tall ways. So this is kind of how the piece is going to go. So it's going to be on this way. So this is my piece of Cappuccino Weeks Dye Works. Before the house pattern comes out, I'm actually going to have to, this is the selvage edge here, and then this part is serged, but they've cut 2 ends of the piece of the fabric. So I'm going to have to put this on my, wow, that piece is a little rough. I'm going to have to put this on my, take this into my computer room, or my craft room, and sew 2 of the edges on, or sew 2 of the edges to keep them from fraying so bad. But this is my piece of Cappuccino for Tiny Modernist Santa's house. Okay, let me get this put back away for you. Yeah, so part of what I'm going to do this weekend is get the fabric kind of serged. You can serge your fabric using a regular sewing machine. You just have to use a zigzag stitch and then go back over it with a straight stitch, and it's kind of like serging your fabric. Works just fine. I have a basic Singer sewing machine, one of the entry models. I don't have a serger. I'm not a big sewer, but I do have a sewing machine. I'm not big into sewing. I never really learned how to sew much growing up. Yeah. So you can serge your fabric using just a basic sewing machine, actually. You don't need anything fancy. Sorry about that, you guys. I just kind of wanted to get this. Okay, put it back away. There we go. There we go. So that was Tiny Modernist Santa's House. Alright, so next we have we have Caterpillar Cross Stitch. Some of you may be familiar with Caterpillar Cross Stitch. Their little logo is this little caterpillar with the Santa hat. They are doing a 12 days of Stitchmas stitch along, and I actually joined that too. So it's the 12 days of Stitchmas. They're little itty bitty patterns that are they're like ornaments, basically like little ornaments that are released from like top down to bottom, but they're put in the shape of a Christmas tree. So this would be the first two ornaments are out. I'll have to look to see if the other ones are out. This is kind of the ornaments there, but this is like, this would be the top of the tree, and then it would go down, and then you know you'd have each of the ornaments down and around. But the first two are, oh goodness, the first two, the release dates. No, I guess the next one is out already, so I'll have to go on and print it. So you have part 1. Here's the release dates. Part 1 was on the 14th of September. Part 2 was on the 28th, yesterday. Part 3 comes out the 12th of October. Part 4, the 26th of October. Part 5, the 9th of November. And Part 6, the 23rd of November. So, I kind of went through, I was looking for something in my box of whips and stuff, and I came across a stash of basic cross-stitch patterns. I haven't had any coffee yet, which is probably why I'm yawning a lot. But I came across my stash of cross-stitch patterns, and also some of the fabrics and stuff that I've had on hand for a while that I don't use. Typically, I'm a linen and even weave person, and therefore, you know, I have some Ada on hand, and I do have some even weave that I have bought over the years. Some of it is that stuff in the tubes you can buy at Joann's and Michael's, and some of it's just loose stuff that I've pulled out of other things, or things that people, or fabric that people have given me. And I actually found a couple of pieces of fabric for some kits that I have, and for some other things. And I have some white fabric on hand that I may actually use to stitch this. It's just even weave fabric, I believe is 28 count, but I may actually use that fabric to start this, because I have a couple of pieces that might actually fit that. But I pulled some fabric for some other things. So yeah, there was a couple of pieces of white or off-white even weave fabric that I had that were already cut in pieces that would fit some kits that I have on hand that I would like to start. And speaking of which, one of the other things I'm going to do, I don't have my phone out here, but quite a few of the Flosstubers now will they use this app on their phone called it's like a roulette app, and it's a little wheel that you spin, and they input their patterns and their whips and everything in there, and they'll spin the wheel, and then whatever the wheel chooses for them is what they stitch on. I think Michelle Garrett, Bendy Stitchy, I think she does it. I know Pam from Pam and Steph, Just Keep Stitching, she uses the spinning wheel to pick her patterns that she works on. And I think Kitten Stitcher, Teresa, also does that. But so I kind of have it, I'm getting it set up so I can do kind of a change my whip kind of thing. So I have some of my whips in there. Then I'm going to put in some new starts on a different wheel Because after this 100 days of having an art design challenge, you guys, I'm kind of sick of working on one project, and I realize, oh my god. Yeah, 100 days of working on one project. I am so glad that I'm not a one project stitcher, because yeah, no, I like to start things. I like to get refreshed, and I like to revisit things, and it's nice to have something else to go on to when you get kind of bored and just, it feels like you're just dragging trying to get this thing finished. So I'm doing the roulette wheel type of thing, probably starting in October. And as you know too, Camp Gotta Stitch, my first stitching retreat, is coming up Veterans Day weekend in November. So I know that the piece that I'm taking for that is Amid Amish Life, that 3-part cross stitch and country crafts one that has been kind of floating around Flosstube. I am taking that piece with me because our stitching retreat is in Berlin, Ohio, which is up in Amish country. So I just figured, hey, I'll just stitch on Amid Amish Life, and that would be great. But I'm going to take basically my tub of projects with me. I don't know if you can see this down here, but like this tub, there's a tub that's under here that has all my projects, and then this tub right here has my my floss. Oh, and by the way, in case you're wondering, I am wearing my brown and gold University of Wyoming Cowboys jersey. I was wearing this to work yesterday, and I kind of put it back on this morning to take Rose out for a walk. This is kind of like my PJs right now, but so anyway, the totes will be going to the Stitch With Me retreat, or the Camp Gotta Stitch, in November. Camp Gotta Stitch is hosted by my local needlework shop, Cross My Heart, here in Columbus, Ohio, and this is like the 20th year or something that they've been doing this retreat. And this is the first time I've ever gotten to go to the retreat, so I'm really looking forward to it. This is my first stitching retreat. I can't wait. I have that Friday off. That Monday is a bank holiday. So I actually paid for the extra night to stay up there Sunday night too. So I will be going up Friday morning after I drop my husband off at work. It's about an hour to an hour and a half away. So I'll be driving up Friday morning, checking in, doing some shopping, doing some stitching, and just kind of stitching and relaxing all weekend. And then I drive home Monday morning. So that'll be a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to that. So we have Camp Gotta Stitch. I talked about finding fabrics in my stash for some stuff. I don't have very much fabric stash, you guys. A lot of the patterns that I have that are going to go on my new pattern roulette wheel that I want to start, I'm going to have to go buy fabric for, because I don't have a lot of fabric on stash. As much as I'd love to have a big fabric stash, fabric's expensive, the hand-dyed linens and even weaves can run in upwards of 20, 30, 50 bucks a pop. It just depends. So I've actually, I said before that my pattern of choice is linen or even weave, and I've kind of been rethinking that, because there are a lot of really gorgeous hand-dyed Aida fabrics out there, and they do tend to be cheaper, although hand-dyed fabrics are more expensive. But I am starting to rethink that maybe I could just stitch something on an Aida fabric. It's not really going to matter. I like the look of linen and even weave better, but if I get a really nice piece of hand-dyed Aida, I'll probably love it just as much. So I'm trying not to poo-poo so much on Aida fabric, because there's a place for it, and you could stitch ornaments. It makes ornament stitching really quick, that kind of thing. So I may actually go back to working on a couple of projects using Aida sometime soon. And one of the other things that I've kind of restarted an interest in is I got a Hirschner's catalog. It's in my bag over there. I got a Hirschner's catalog in the mail. I haven't had a Hirschner's catalog in a long time. And I used to order stuff from Hirschner's quite a bit. But for the Hirschner's catalog, I was going through it, and there's kits. You know, you can buy kits with ornaments and stuff like that. Well, they have like fall ornament kits and Halloween ornament kits and Christmas ornament kits and, you know, all kinds of stuff. And I'm like, a long time ago, when I first started cross-stitching, I had this grand idea of having a Christmas tree that had nothing but cross-stitched ornaments on it, all over it. So we haven't put up a Christmas tree in probably 2 years, just because, you know, we haven't been home, and our cats like to get in the Christmas tree, like up at the top in the Christmas tree. So we tend not to, you know, we have a hard time kind of putting it up because we have two younger cats that think that's the new jungle gym, and they'll bat ornaments off the tree and stuff like that. So this year we're probably going to put up a Christmas tree, which will give me something new to show you, because I have a small collection of stitched Christmas ornaments that we actually have in our ornament box that I've made, that do go on our Christmas tree. So when we get to doing that sometime in late November, early December, one of my videos I will actually show you some of my finished Christmas ornaments. But that being said, I have a few, you know, ornament book patterns and some perforated paper ornament patterns and some other stuff that I've collected over the years. Some of it started. A lot of it hasn't been finished, if it has been started. But I'd like to start digging those out. And I think one of the things I'm going to start next year is I'm going to work on an ornament a month. That way I may actually start it, you know, like say October, since we're coming up on it now. I may actually start it now, but I'm going to try and do an ornament a month where I at least finish the cross stitching on it. I may not fully finish it, but then if I don't fully finish it that same month, I'm going to kind of hold off, and maybe like once a quarter next year, I'm going to take some time and just take all the small ornaments that I finished and fully finish them, so I can actually hang them somewhere, put them up, display them, whatever. Some of them are stitched into like little pillows, and I'm not the world's best sewer, so, you know, they're not exactly perfect, but they work for me, and I kind of like them, and just knowing that I made them, and, you know, it's kind of neat. So that is something that's coming up in a future episode of my Flosstube, is showing you some of the finished Christmas ornaments that I have made. All of them are kind of soft finishes. They're not like hard finishes, because I didn't know about, you know, gluing the fabric to, like, you know, or boards and stuff, and, you know, doing flat finishes. I didn't know anything about that. And I still don't really know how to do them. I've seen a few videos, so I'd like to try it, but yeah, so I have that for you. And other than that, not much else is going on. I may actually not stitch with you today. So because I may not stitch with you, because it's going on 38 minutes and I still have a little bit I want to talk about, I will go ahead and show you. So this, as you know, this is my 100 Days of Heaven and Earth design pattern. This is Hunter's Moon by Allison Spokes, and it's from Heaven and Earth Designs. When I started, I had not finished this area here. This is page 2. I hadn't finished page 2 or page 3. Page 3. I think this is page 3. So I still had all this to do, and I didn't have any of this up here. I didn't have any of this really done. So, as you can see, I have some fill-in right in here. I have some fill-in right in here, and a little bit of fill-in right in here. But this line coming down here, you guys, is page 4. It's page 4. And I'm almost finished. And today is day 90. Like I said, today is day 90. So, my goal is to have a page finished today. That is my goal. So when I'm done here, I'm actually going to stitch. I may actually just stitch and talk with you guys now. But anyway, so like talked about fabrics in my stash. So actually, let me go ahead and get some of this stuff moved out from in front of me, so I can kind of get on with things. Let me get some of this stuff. Yep. Alright. I don't need anymore. Bear with me just a minute. So I'm going to kind of rearrange this a little bit. Move it away. I'm going to pull this in. Unfortunately, this angle I can't show you the stitching a little bit as much, but I'm just gonna go ahead and stitch with you for a little bit. I gotta get some of my stuff out that I need. There we go. Yeah, I'm gonna have to move this back over this way. Sorry about the weird glare. Well, yeah. Well, I will just go ahead. Okay. So, anyway, one of the other things I kind of wanted to talk to you about, a couple of the Flosstubers. So I've been watching some Flosstube and listening to Flosstube. Obviously, some of the people I've been watching know Stitcherista, Pam and Steph of Just Keep Stitching, the Kitten Stitcher Teresa, Michelle Garrett, Bendy Stitchy, Jessie Marie does stuff. There's this new, I don't know if he's necessarily new to Flosstube, he's newer to me. His name is Kyle, and he has this channel called Stitching in Sound, I believe is what it's called. And he issued this challenge because he's got a bit of a different last name. And he said that he issued this challenge because most everybody he knows butchers his last name. So he decided to issue a challenge to see who could say his name. So I looked at his name and I was like, yeah, okay, sure. It's Kyle Rekemeyer. And I was like, yeah, it looks pretty easy to say. Sorry about the glare, you guys. I'm trying to... There we go. So, Kyle Rekemeyer, he issued this challenge to people to say their name, to say his name. So, Michelle Garrett, you know, quite a few of the other people have tried to say his name. So I believe it's Kyle Rekemeyer. That's what it looks like to me. And I don't know for sure, but Jessie Marie does stuff. She is another YouTuber or Flosstuber. She also said that people butcher her maiden name. So on one of her more recent videos, she posted the spelling of her maiden name, and I think her maiden name is pronounced Barrett. It's a little odd. It's an odd spelling, but yeah. So speaking of mispronunciations and misspellings, you know, my name is Tina. And I had a telemarketer call once who called and asked to speak to Tina. That was the first time I had ever heard somebody butcher the name Tina. Are you kidding me? Tina? Yeah, no, I ended up not speaking to that person on the phone. Yeah. So I have had my first name butchered. And I've also had somebody come up to me and say, and try to call me by the name Christine. They're like, Christine, Christine. They try to get my attention. Christine, Christina. And I ignored them, you know. And then, so she's like, I've been trying to get your attention. I was like, oh, I'm sorry. I didn't hear my name. And she goes, is your name really Tina? And I said, yeah. She's like, oh, I thought it was short for Christine or Christina. I was like, no, it's just Tina. That's what's on my birth certificate. So, actually, here's an interesting thing for you. I will actually write this down. So, I have a half-sister. And actually, I had 2 half-sisters, but one of them passed away in 2003. I have a half-sister. Now, this is gonna throw everybody off. This is her name. It's the only, and actually, my other half-sister's oldest daughter also has this name. This is how her name is spelled, you guys. Qassye. If you can pronounce this name, and if you try to pronounce this name, leave a comment below to your video of you trying to pronounce this name. Leave a comment below with the link to your video, and I will tell you if you're right. This is my youngest half-sister's name and my oldest niece's name. Qassye. I've used this for passwords. You guys. This is a real name. Tell me how you pronounce it. And then I will tell you in a later video how it's pronounced. Kind of forgot about that. Let's see. So yeah, the name challenge. I believe Jessie Marie does stuff. I believe her maiden name is Barrett. I hope she hears that, and I hope she tells me if I'm right or wrong. And Kyle from Stitching and Sound, I believe your last name is Rekemeyer. So if I have to go on and tag them and just let them know that I tried to say their name and that I have a challenge for them as well. But yeah. Anyway, so that's been one of the things going on this year. So I'm just gonna get back into stitching. It's going on 46 minutes now. So I'll stitch with you just a little bit on this. There we go. Ooh, that made it blurry. I'm doing this today without my glasses. Mm-hmm. So that is 1, 2. Okay. Now I know where I'm going. I'm pretty much just doing the fill-in on day 90 though. Oh, one of the other things I kind of wanted to talk to you about too. So, you know, there's all these different hashtags that you can participate in, and all these different stitch-alongs. So for the Full Coverage Fanatics Facebook group, they do this monthly stitch-along, where it's called, like this month is September by the numbers. So for the month of September, you have to put in 1,200 full cross stitches, or 2,400 half stitches. Since I'm doing tent stitch, and each month at the beginning of the month, you pick your piece. You pick your piece, you post a picture of it, where you're at on the first of the month. And then on the last day of the month, you post your progress and say whether or not you made it. I wasn't really sure I was going to hit 2,400 half stitches, because there's been some days when I only put in like 5-10 stitches on this piece. And since it's 100 Days of Heaven and Earth Designs challenges, I figured, I'll just put the two of them together, the September by the numbers for 24 half stitches and the 100 days of HAED, since today is day 90, we still have a bit to go. I would kind of do them concurrently together. And about halfway through the month, I was like, I am not going to make the 2400 stitches. Well, when I sat down yesterday to start, I only had about 420, 430 stitches. It was going to be tight because, 200 stitches is a lot of stitches to put in. But then when I sat down yesterday to stitch last night to make sure that I got my one stitch a day in for the 100 Days of HAED challenge, I just kept going and kept going and kept going. And like I said, I only had about 420 stitches or so left to do when I sat down last night. I did 520 some. 520. So I went 100 stitches over. So now any stitch I put in today and tomorrow is extraneous stitches for the September by the Numbers challenge. So I'm actually really kind of happy. I met another challenge a couple of days early. So, yeah, that just makes me really happy. So my goal now, I don't have very many stitches to fill in, but my goal now is to just finish this page by today. Because it's the 90 Days of Heaven and Earth Designs, I'd actually like to show a page finish for today. So that's kind of what I'm doing here. Alright. So, one of the things that's actually starting up soon too, a lot of Flosstubers are participating in it. I have to look into a little bit more of it, but I'm not really sure what's involved. October starts Dark October stitching. Quite a few people are participating in it. I don't know the details. I'm going to have to look it up and figure out what the details are. But we still have about 10 more days in Heaven and Earth Design Challenge into the month of October. And I've pretty much been stitching monogamously on this piece. And frankly, I'm getting sick of looking at this piece. So, if Dark October stitching, if we have to pick a piece, maybe I'll pull out like Skeleton Crew or something and work on that. But I don't know what the parameters are for the Dark October stitching. I know I'm involved. I've been kind of working on Dark 13 stitching, where or the Dark 13 stitch along, where on the 13th of every month you work on something kind of dark, kind of Halloween-y, kind of, whatever, macabre. So I have participated on that in the past. Mondays are Mill Hill Mondays, so I have a couple of new Mill Hill kits that I can start. And I also have the pumpkin, the Mill Hill pumpkin, that's partially started too. That I can pull out and work on. So I have a few things in mind for that. But other than that, I mean, there's not a whole lot going on. We have like 100 Days of Heaven and Earth Designs. Today's day 90, as I said before. So we have 10 more days. I'm looking forward to finishing. I actually did make it longer than I thought because I was really getting burnt out. But I'm kind of having fun with this a little bit. It's getting on fall. This is kind of fall colors, you guys. This is fall colors. It's got the autumn leaves on the tree and the moon. It's kind of fall colors. So I've been kind of enjoying this a little bit. So a little bit more recently than I have in the middle. So yeah, that's kind of where I'm at. Anyway, I will go on for a couple more minutes, kind of make this close to an hour for you. I really don't have a whole lot of other stuff. Hopefully by my next video I will have some progress on some other pieces due to some of the things that are coming up. I'm still waiting on my fabric for my tiny Modernist Haunted Mansion stitch along. I'm in I believe the Facebook group is Love for Cross Stitch, or it's For the Love of Cross Stitch, or something like that. Faye Kuhn, she is the moderator for the Facebook group. She's the one that's kind of coordinating the Haunted Mansion stitch along that I'm going to be participating in. She has offered to send everybody the pattern, the Haunted Mansion pattern, when the final piece is released. But since I'm already getting it separately, I'm just paying for the fabric. She's hand dyeing fabric, both in Ada and linen or even weave, for it. And her colors are beautiful. She's got like a gray one and a purple one. I'm hoping to get 32 count in purple. But when the fabric comes, I will actually be starting the Haunted Mansion sale. And I'm not sure when the fabric is going to come. But I believe the stitch along starts when the last part of the Haunted Mansion pattern is released. So I'm not actually going to be stitching on that one. Since I have the fabric for the Santa's house, I don't know if there's going to be a stitch along for the Santa's house, but I might just start that one and just make my own stitch along. Since I have the fabric for it, I can just, start on that one. So I may actually have a new start coming October 1st with the release of the house portion of the Santa's house pattern. I'm probably going to make some progress on Mill Hill. I think I'm going to get back into doing Mill Hill Mondays and just stitching a couple Mill Hill kits. I have some Mill Hill kits that I really need to finish. My husband has said that he really wants me to start to get to the point where I can finish my Earth Dancer. I need to do the Dream Catcher and the suede fringe on the dress. The suede fringe scares me, but I need to do the suede fringe on the dress. He wants me to enter that in the state fair next year. He's been wanting me to enter that in the state fair for about the last 5 years. I just haven't. I just haven't. So I need to get that finished and framed, so then it would be FFO'd. So I can enter it in the fair for 2019. Let's see. Diamond painting. I haven't talked about diamond painting. So I have my custom, or not custom, I have my largest diamond painting now. It's a Jasmine Beckett Griffith piece, and it's beautiful. So starting October 1st too, there is a Diamond Art Club Diamond Paint Along, DACDPAL, that is started by 3 ladies in the Diamond YouTube community, Diamond Painting YouTube community. They have split it into 3 different categories. It goes from October 1st to December 31st, and it's a diamond paint along. So basically, you show progress or whatever. And Diamond Art Club, one of the diamond painting companies that's well known and well liked, it provides quality diamond painting kits. They have provided some free prizes for this diamond paint along. You don't have to use a Diamond Art Club painting to join. I have 2 right now. I'm probably going to enter the 3rd one that I have. My Princess Mononoke one, since I already started it, is not eligible for the diamond paint along. You have to start your piece, like put your first drill on the canvas on or after October 1st. You can't have already started something and enter it. So I have, there's 3 categories. There's love, there's animals, and there's fantasy. So I have the steampunk, the Windswept Steampunk Fairy, which is the Jasmine Beckett one that I have. She is under the fantasy category. And then I have a Forged Seasons tree that I got from Diamond Art Club that is going in the love category. And I will start one of those probably this next week. You can start and join the Diamond Art Club Diamond Paint Along anytime. If you go to, I believe it's the Diamond Painting Underground Facebook group, there's more information there. If you're into diamond painting, you can join. But that's what I'm doing. I have a 3rd diamond painting that I probably will enter as my second choice in the love category. But I only have 3. I have 4 diamond paintings, 1 in progress and 3 waiting. I have 1 finished. So I have 5. I have 5 total. 1 finished, 1 in progress, and 3 waiting. So there is that. Alright, you guys, we are approaching an hour. I'm going to go ahead and kind of cut the video here. I hope that you've been having a great pumpkin season so far. I hope that the fall's been really good to you. It's finally cooled off here in Ohio. It's in the low 70s. It's been kind of chilly at night. We've been enjoying it. Haven't turned on the heat yet. Probably won't turn on the heat for a little while. I kind of like sleeping. Oh goodness, I kind of like sleeping, in a cooler house. We like tent camping. We like tent camping in cooler weather too, because you just sleep so much better outside in the cold. So I hope everybody's having fun. I hope everybody's doing well. If you're stitching, I hope you're stitching all the things. I hope you get all of the fun stuff. If you're diamond painting, I hope you're diamond painting all the fun stuff too. I haven't diamond painted in probably about 2 weeks, maybe a week and a half. It's been a little while. I thought I was just going to put like 1 or 2 stitches in on this and then pull my diamond painting out for Princess Mononoke, but I got just too involved in this, and by the time I got to a point where I was done stitching, I was too tired to pull out my diamond painting and I had to go to bed. So I haven't diamond painted in a while, but anyway, so I hope the fall weather is treating you nice. Watch all the football. I'm not a big football fan. I'm certainly not an Ohio State fan, so don't ask me about the Buckeyes because I will tell you they suck. Sorry if you're a Buckeye fan, but Michelle Garrett, Bendy Stitchy, she's probably like, yeah! I'm not really a Michigan fan either. Sorry, Michelle. Go Wyoming. Wyoming Cowboys. Go Pokes. I don't really follow football much. Football isn't really my sport. My high school didn't have a football team, so we had homecoming during basketball. Basketball was our big sport. So I kind of got more into basketball than I got into football. When I went to Wyoming, though, in college, I did go to football games, and I really liked it. But, yeah, I've been to one Ohio State. Well, I've been to a couple of Ohio State football games. The last one I went to was probably 10 years ago, maybe, whenever they played Wyoming, because they did play Wyoming. They played Wyoming not that long ago, or about 10, 15 years ago, as kind of like an opener to their season game. And it was here in Columbus, and I got the opportunity to purchase 2 tickets for $40 each, so I bought the 2 tickets, and a friend of mine went with me, and I wore my brown and gold for Wyoming, and it was a blast. Ohio State was slated to win that game like 45-0. It was supposed to be a blowout, and it was probably the best game ever I've seen out of Wyoming. And they pulled some plays that they used to pull when I was in college there back in the very early 90s. I went to college there from 1989 to 1992. and it's in Laramie, Wyoming. If you don't know where that's at, look at a map, learn some geography. Laramie, Wyoming. My grandparents lived in Cheyenne. So there you go. Geography, learn it. And yes, Wyoming is a state. I had somebody ask me, well, what state is the University of Wyoming in? Are you kidding me? Yeah, I really had that. Learn your geography, people. So anyway, but that game, the score was slated to be 45-0. Ohio State was supposed to tromp Wyoming's ass. Final score, 10-7. Yes, Ohio State won and Wyoming lost. 10-7, you guys. Wyoming played a phenomenal game. And OSU still sucks. So yeah, anyway. Alright, so hope you're enjoying football season. Hope you're enjoying a lot of games. Get out and enjoy the fall weather. I hope you can enjoy the change of seasons. I heard on the news last night, one of our local weather personalities here in Columbus, Jim Ganal, he has been mentioning that the change in colors, the leaves, the change in the fall leaves from greens to like browns, reds, yellows, and oranges and stuff, is probably delayed a week or two around this area because of the weather that we've had. It's been a little warmer. It's been wetter, as he said. So the change in leaves might be a week or two delayed. So, it's coming up on that season, you guys. So if I think about it, hopefully I can get some pictures. The state park that's down southeast of us, about an hour away, Hocking Hills State Park. They have a new astronomy center that opened up earlier this year, and their astronomy center is doing some fabulous evening stargazing events on Fridays and Saturdays over the next few months, because there's a lot of events happening. And my husband and I have been talking. We haven't went tent camping in about 2 years. We really do. We really miss it. We've been talking about, because we have Rose and we have a different car now, we've been talking about seeing if we can rent a yurt or a small little camping cabin and going down to Hocking Hills for a few days to enjoy the astronomy show and whatnot. And it's beautiful down there when the leaves are changing. So I may be able to get some pictures showing you some of the leaves changing in our favorite state park. That's not far from here. If not, maybe I can get some from around the city. There's beautiful areas around the city. There's a lot of trees here. But anyway, I hope you're enjoying the fall weather. I hope you're enjoying all your pumpkin spice flavored things. I'm enjoying it. And I hope you're getting ready for Christmas. Christmas isn't that far away. I hope you've done your Christmas shopping. If you haven't done your Christmas shopping, maybe you should start. I haven't done my Christmas shopping. My husband said that he has some ideas for stuff for me, but he won't tell me. So I have to start my Christmas shopping. So I have some ideas, but I'm just not 100% sure. But anyway, I hope you get out there, you get shopping, you get all the stitching stuff, get all the stash, you buy all the stash, you get all the floss. And I hope you just keep on keeping on, because that's about all we can do. And I will see you sometime soon, hopefully. And take care, and yeah, we'll see you soon. Take it easy, and until then, just, do your best and stay happy and enjoy the weather. Bye, guys.